Hello. Hey, Brandon. How's it going?
Doing good. I just realized right before we hit record that I'm looking like very ghostly with all all these lights. I'm looking
Oh,
very
yeah.
pale. I am
a
not this
little,
pale, people.
a little washed. A little,
Yeah, yeah. It's
ex-
like, ugh.
uh, the exposure.
Yeah, this guy needs sunlight or something. Need vitamin D.
um. Well, how has your week been, Brandon? Have you had anything that happened?
The past week, so let's see, the past week, a lot of stuff has happened. Um, I'd say yeah, I guess it is like the past week, maybe past week and a half. Here's
Well,
just
it's
an
been a
example.
hiatus. It's been for
Well,
for
well,
us. It's been kind
for
of a
the
hiatus.
show, it's been like at least 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think at least 3 weeks. Yeah. Like, so there's been a hiatus. There's a bunch of stuff that's happened throughout that 3 to 4 weeks, but literally just the last week, because that's just the thing is like each week has just like bam, bam, bam regarding like this happens, that happens, also like writing revelation sort of stuff. Like, like still writing comics, still love comics. I'm still going to write comics. Um, the Gallows Man, though, Gallows Man 4 is still coming. And Gallows Man 3, the backer surveys will be sent out almost definitely by the end of this week. It's it's been a weird process the past month in my life and just various things going on in it. But Gallows Man 3 is still getting shipped out. Um, I mentioned Gallows Man because that whole 4 issue miniseries was first a feature length script that I wrote in late 2017. Um, Wrote it and like that was the story. And that has been the story. Like there's been tweaks here and there with dialogue and stuff like that. Whenever I edited it and turned it into a comic script. Um, but so like issue 1, issue 2, issue 3 have all been from that original source of that 2017 script.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but about 2 weeks ago, like things were kind of kicking in for me regarding thinking about the Gallows Man and thinking about like my writing career in the future and the stuff that like I want to put out there. I'm not saying Gallows Man isn't bad, not, or is bad. I'm not saying that at all. Um, but it's one of those things where like there's a lot of stuff in my life where like writing became like a cope, and especially at that time when I wrote Gallows Man back in 2017, Gallows Man was like very much a cope. There was a lot of stuff happening at that time, and it was just one of those things where it's okay to cope here and there, but then sometimes you can just bury your head into the sand or into the writing or into the art or whatever it may be, and you're not looking at reality. You're not tackling whatever may be going on. You're not tackling reality, whatever it is. Um, and Gallows Man, as well as like probably half of my writing, definitely was that. I'm not saying all my writing was that, but definitely the 2023 writing, like almost everything I wrote in 2023, like not the stuff I published because that stuff was written
Mm-hmm.
before 2023. The stuff I wrote in 2023 very much was like bury my head right here, just not focusing and tackling stuff that was going on in my life. Um, so I mentioned all that to say, I and I've known that with Gallows Man for a while. But it was one of those things where recently I was like now that things are a lot different in my life, and I have tackled all those things, and I'm open about all those things, and just simply living and loving life, like with my writing, I want to put more of a piece of myself in it, whatever that may look like. and there's elements with that in the Gallows Man. There's elements with that in any of my writing, but sometimes it's hidden because it was one of those things where like it was coping and it was going to this or that with writing. All that's to say, Gallows Man 4, I've had the ending for Gallows Man since 2017. About 2 weeks ago, and I've thought about this for longer than 2 weeks. About 2 weeks ago, it finally hit me of like, this isn't the ending that I want to put out there. Like for me personally, what I want the Gallows Man ending to be, because the ending that everyone is thinking or planning in their head is correct. It's correct, and I'll even put that within the Gallows Man number 4. I won't get into too much detail about it because I'm working on it right now. But the ending that was originally there is like, yeah, and not saying like the reason I'm changing the ending is because like, oh, readers can predict the ending. I'm not saying that at all. But it is one of those things where it's like, if you already know what the ending is going to be, why do I have to show you that ending? Like you know what it's going to lead to. And so in Gallows Man number 4, I'm going to address that some, but that's not going to be the ending. There's going to be a lot more to it. It's going to look a lot different because literally I metaphorically balled up the script issue 4. I was like, over there, start from scratch. And so that's what I'm doing. Like issue 4 is literally like starting from scratch with the writing. And regarding a time of release, I couldn't tell you. And I'm okay with that because it's ultimately one of those things where it will be done when it needs to be done. Whenever I feel like I need to work on it, I work on it. I've already written some stuff here and there the past couple weeks. But yeah. So all that's to say, Gallows Man's still happening. Gallows Man 4 is not going to go the way people think it's going. And I think people will like it. I think you're gonna, yeah, there's gonna be a lot more me in it in a way. And I think it's ultimately for a me thing. It's selfish, but it's ultimately like, this is what I want to put out there. If people are receptive to it, which I know there will be people that are receptive to it, they're receptive to it. If some people aren't receptive to it, that's okay as well. It's simply what I want to put out there. Since I'm self-publishing it, since I'm putting the money in, since I'm doing all this and all that, put what I want out there. So that's Gallows Man 4. Will happen. It's happening, but regarding release date, TBA.
All right. Well, I mean, people change, and 2017 was a long time ago. And I think just naturally, if you're sitting on something that long, that if it should, it's bound to have a change. So,
yeah.
But I entrust your writing instincts. So I'm excited either way. Is there a chance that the first script, is released in some form or fashion, whether it's just a transcript or maybe you do a visual?
I probably
thing.
I probably will like release, like if it's on Kickstarter or whatever, like the issue 4. I probably will release the former script like just for free. Like I'll include it so people can see. And there are going to be some people that are like, I wish it went this route. But then it is also like you already knew it was going that route. Like you don't need me to tell you that. You don't need me to show you that. You saw it in your own head. So
All right. Well, that's going to be fun to think about as the number 4 comes around. But so are there other projects in between now and then that we're like, because I'm really excited about the shift.
Yeah,
got me kind of pumped about that.
Yeah, I'm hyped about the shift. It should hit Kickstarter like mid-January. That's what we're trying for, because we're also, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we're trying to have a table at Heroes Con, if not like a couple connecting tables at Heroes Con for the shift. And like yeah, lately, like I've had like I went back because I wrote the shift, like this first issue. I wrote it like in June, early June, and like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went back and read the script again, because I haven't really read it like since I sent it to all the guys to work on and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and read it, and there's like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't notice before that I'm like really excited about. Like it sparked ideas in my head of like, oh, like past Brandon like didn't even know this,
Mm-hmm.
but he was like preparing future Brandon for
Yeah.
this thing that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, like, all right, I'm down for, because I have ideas of where this can go. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Well, awesome. Well, on my front, so I'm a little bit of a health nut, and I work at a gym full time. And I get asked a lot of questions about staying health, about like losing fat, and what should I eat, what shouldn't I eat, what exercise should I do, what exercise shouldn't I do. And everybody is different and nuanced, and I have a going on 10 or 15 year experience of all this industry, and it's so frustrating to me to have people come up and just ignore me, just ignore everything I said. Is beyond frustrating. I had somebody come up to me. They pull out this protein drink from the fridge. We sell some products, and they pulled out one of the products, put it on the counter. They're gonna buy it. They're purchasing it right then and there, and they go, "Is this fattening?" And I was like, "Well, you have a daily calorie intake, and if you go over that daily calorie intake with this product, it will be fattening." And they're like, "Oh, so it's about the calories." Yes, it's about the calories. The next day he comes in, grabs another protein shake. Are these fattening? I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know your diet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, and I get this all the time. I want to lose this right here. I want it gone.
Especially in
like,
Alabama. That's
yeah.
definitely like, I want to lose this right here.
They got the hat on, and they got the plaid, and they just slap that belly. I want this gone. Do I do the ab machine over there? Well, no, you need to keep your heart rate above a certain heart rate, and you need to do probably more reps. Make sure your rest is kept at a minimum. Oh, okay. Never see him again. So I never know how to approach people, but I'm setting out to do something that I've always done. I think I touched on this before, but I've wanted to make programs based off characters that inspire me. And
Yeah.
when I tried to propose this to different people, they always hit me with the same thing, like, well, if you're trying to make money off of this, you're gonna get hit with a cease and desist by someone at some point. And and I was like, you know what, that's true. I can't make a living off of somebody else's living. I don't want to do that. And that's essentially what it's doing. If I wanted to make the female Titan program, and make a program based on her, what she would do, what the training regimen would look like, what the diet might look like, and what would ultimately kind of end up in that female Titan figure. I can't use those visuals. I can't use her as the example. I can't use the assets, the name. None of that can be mine. That's somebody else's. So with Envy, I do plan on making a program, and I'm hoping that I can get this out to people, and it explains, what you need to look out for, what you want to have happen, what the habits you want to build and everything. Because it's just partly I want to help people. Like I've always, when I got into this industry and started personal training and trying to coach people on these topics and everything, it was like, I ultimately want to help people, because when I got into this, it helped me so much more than I ever thought it would. Like so much. It was like one of those, it's like the batteries to my life. Like it's just something that I need. And, and I understand that everybody needs it. We are not meant, is a very small portion of time that we have been sitting down in chairs most of the day, not doing any kind of labor, any kind of movement. So I find it to be very important. But also now I just want it to hand something to people to be like, hey, I have a question. Well, the answer's in here. Good luck. So that's going to be a fun project. I am working on an Envy specific one, but I think I don't know. I might base the beginner program around like Fritz, somebody that's like not gonna be scrawny. Like a super health kind of scrawny. So I guess that would make it more relatable. But for somebody that's starting out, they don't want this big jacked person telling them what to do. So
here's what to do. Be like me. You can be a 8 foot tall jacked woman.
Demon. But yeah, it's fun, and this is also an aspect that Envy's going to have to approach. I think, again, I've mentioned this before, but this is something that she's going to approach in the comic, where she feels very, she goes from this demon that can do and feel everything in different ways, and now she feels utterly weak, and then she sees all these humans working out, doing these weird things with these weights, and she's like, what are they doing? And Sam is like, they're just working out, they're just trying to get stronger. And it's like, stronger? I need to get stronger. So I like being able to tie all that in. I like have my own IP to work with this stuff, and I think it'll be helpful. So yeah, people come up to all the time asking me questions that I just don't know how to tell them. Because it's always like, it's more of a factor that it's harder to do than me just say, yeah, doing those sit-up machines over there, that's exactly, that's what's gonna help you. It's like, no, it's actually gonna be this, and it's kind of hard. It's very simple and it's very straightforward, but it's hard.
But like getting it in your mind regarding like willingness to do it. Because you say you want to do it, but then when you hear this, and simple stuff. When you hear this, you then are reevaluating. It's like, how bad did I want this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking to do. I'm not sure if I want to finish the issue number 3 before I get started on it, or if I want to go ahead and just get on it. Issue number 3 has been weird because I've added a whole new like portion of issue 3, just kind of out of a whim, like just that's I felt the story was going and needed that. Now I don't know where to exactly put it, and I've been working on it for almost 3 weeks. I've actually had 2 or 3 almost fully inked pages that I went, nope, this isn't going to be in these are rejected. And now I'm like, I kind of just need to get an update out. Like I kind of just want to get something out, but I also like, Austin, you know better. You gotta you gotta have quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a challenge I'm having with issue number 3 right now. Is I think that this portion needs to go actually at the end of issue 3. It'll be a good segue into 4, but I'm working on it, and I'm like, well, I don't really want to wait to post it. I kind of want to get it out there because it's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks before I have the update that's conjoined, done.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're more on top of it than I am. Like, I have the Substack, and I saw you followed my Substack. I will post on Substack the second that the backer surveys are sent out. That's the key thing, is like, I'm not procrastinating about the backer surveys either. There's just, with a lot of life stuff that's happening, all good. I'm prioritizing certain things, and people will get the Gallows Man number 3. They will get the Gallows Man number 3. I'm going to send the backer survey out. I just don't want Gallows Man number 3 to take over my life and it be priority above all these other things, like my writing has sometimes been in the past. So still doing it, but I'm doing it a lot more healthier. So everyone out there, if you're wanting Gallows Man 3 and you pre-ordered, you're going to get it. Patience. You will get it. And
hey, Brandon,
likely,
don't worry about it.
like likely the deadline that I had put for the Kickstarter is probably going to work out like perfectly, because I said like January of 2025. It's almost definitely going to be like end of December or January. So you'll get it the same time. It was just in my head, I was rushing in my head of like, ooh, but I could get it out like end of November or early December, like that sort of thing. It's like, no, life stuff happened. Help me reevaluate some things, but people will still get it. It's still there. You're still going to get Gallows Man number 3. I'll send the backer surveys out likely this week. The thing is, like, I'm going to send them out. I kind of hate the update that Kickstarter did with backer surveys. Maybe you saw this with Envy, and you didn't see what it was like before, so you don't have the context of it, I don't think. Before, you could send, like how there's each reward tier, you could form the backer survey for like one reward tier and go ahead and send that out while you're working on the others. How the current system is, which I hate, is you have to do all of them before you can send any of them out. Like you have to do all of them and then it'll send all of them out. I don't like that. I wish it could be, when I have the time, I do 1 or 2 tiers and then I can just go ahead and send those out. And then same thing with others, go ahead and send those out. But no, part of why it's taking so long is the current, for like people, if they did a lower tier or whatever tier, is the current way that Kickstarter has the backer survey thing is I have to do all the tiers before you get your one tier.
Right.
Or your one tier survey sort of thing. So it's frustrating, but that's partially why there's been a delay in sending the backer surveys out for some people. But yeah, just have to
Well,
navigate it.
Since I've done Envy, I've probably backed about 8 or 9 projects. And I've only got one of the comics that I've backed.
Oh wow.
Vermin. So do not worry about it. It looks like a lot of people, I think Brandon D. Pillis,
Yeah.
Autolice, they're using it like they're using Kickstarter as it was intended, or as it was like thought of it, having the funding first and then creating the whole comic.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just don't have big expectations for it to be, right out the gate, right out the door.
Yeah.
I never had anybody like, contact me like expecting it real fast, and I just don't think people are paying that much attention.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about it too much, and getting it out by January is like still a really good turnaround for most Kickstarters.
Yeah. I'm excited to get it out, specifically so like it's then envisioned in my head of like, oh boy, Gallows Man 4. I love Gallows Man 1, 2, 3, but Gallows Man 4 to me is like this is the ribbon. This is to tie it all together. Like the current vision of Gallows Man 4, like I've talked to Tio about it some, and I might talk to you off air. Not might. I will talk to you off air about it. But yeah, it's different, but I'm excited to have it go.
Shoot, man, I had a. Oh yes. So one thing that I really would want to fix with my mindset is not basing my I mean, I guess I had some justification for doing it this last time, but I don't want to base my Kickstarter off of a convention deadline, because I think that just really stifled a lot of what I was doing with Kickstarter. Because ultimately, the Kickstarter is worth so much more money than what
Yeah.
a convention will do.
Yeah.
So it took me until like last week to realize that. I was like, wait a minute, the Kickstarter has so much more money. I got so much more out of that than
And
any convention I've ever done.
Conventions are good. The thing I love about conventions is that like personal interaction with people. Like that yes, the money is good. It's good to at least break even at a convention. That's I love when that happens. And then if there's a profit, it's like, oh, holy crap. But like the key thing for me at conventions is that personal interaction with people, and just talking and discussing, and sometimes getting people into comics for the first time sort of thing. But yeah, like Kickstarter, like crowdfunding in general, regarding the money, it's like yeah, that's the way to go, at least early on. Now when it goes to like if you get big one day and conventions want you and stuff, definitely do that, because you get money. One, they pay for you to be there, and also autographs, sketches, all that sort of stuff. But Kickstarters and crowdfunding very much are like, yeah, that's where, like, regarding whenever I have to do taxes suck. I hate taxes, even because we're only making like a few $1,000s, if that. like a year off of this crap, and we still got to fill out the taxes, still got to fill out this, that. It's like, oh my God. I hate it. Like it's the tiniest bit of money.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, um, I still do it, government. I know you're listening. I still do my taxes. All right. I'm subservient to you, whatever. Um, but yeah, whenever I'm like doing the taxes and I look at the income and stuff, I see like, oh yeah, like 60 to 70% of this is Kickstarter, like crowdfunding. Um, so it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, like regarding the money, that's definitely the big thing. And also that personal interaction, yes, it's not in person, but regarding doing the bouncing from show to show and promotion and promoting a Kickstarter and stuff, like that is also like great like personal interaction as well, whether it's Katie's channel, whether it's Gary B's channel or whatever. Like you're able to get that interaction with not only them but also like the chat. Like you can't see
Hmm.
everyone in the chat and you likely don't know what these people look like, but it's like there's that personable aspect to it to where it's almost compared to a lot of conventions, because not all conventions are comic conventions, it's almost more personable because they actually are invested in comics themselves. So I don't know. I'm not saying, hey, everyone, let's have comics be a strictly online sort of gathering sort of thing. I'm not saying that at all. But I do see great value in that with both Kickstarter, with YouTube, with this, with that. Like, yeah, it's
For
it's
sure.
it's a great community building thing outside of just the local con.
Um, yeah, it's the I was listening to Brad and Dave talk about conventions the other week. And one thing that they got a question or something about conventions where the person was like, I feel like social media promotion is doing nothing while it feels like going to a convention is doing something because people actually engage and you get to see them buy it and see people, talk to people and everything. Um, I don't, I have, they say that the social media aspect of it is far more valuable than doing the convention because they're like you're getting it in front of so many more eyes, you're getting in front of so many more people, um, and those interactions that you have at a convention just are so they're just a feeling that is with doing that. But for me, it just feels so it's like I don't know. That's like I need that. Like I need a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
nourishment from a
It keeps you
convention
going. Yeah.
and interaction with people. Because otherwise, if I'm not getting anything off social media either, I don't I don't feel like I'm doing a good job with my story or my comic, and I want to
Well,
do a good job.
that's a key thing is like like yes, I mentioned like there's that social interaction on social media or like with YouTube with being on shows and talking in chats and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like personal in-person communication, in person like communing with people is like honestly so much more valuable to oneself. That's what I mean. It's not entirely like oh the business aspect of it, the money aspect, this that, more like to yourself, like just physically, mentally, spiritually, all these different things.
Hmm.
Like it builds you, like just being around people. Like it's extremely crucial. Not only with like doing conventions and having those your book out there and seeing that love that people have for your work, even if it's the first time they're picking it up or anything, or just the love for the arts in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not just with conventions, like everyday life is very much that of like I back in college was very much like not a shut in. I very much was like, okay, go to class. Now I'm back at home. I'm just going to stay in my room and just do the homework or do this or do that, do the writing. And like I the social interaction I would get half the time or most of the time was like, hey, buddies of mine, like let's play a video game online, which isn't bad. Video games are good. They're communal,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't entirely feed what you need of like literally being around people, like
Mm-hmm.
physically being around people. And it wasn't until like late into college that like that hit and I realized of like, oh dang, like it's okay to do the video game here and there with friends and stuff, but like it's just so much more joyful like being around people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like and I was anxious. I had anxiety. I had like all this different stuff. But it was just like the more and more you push yourself in that, the easier and easier it gets.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be uncomfortable. This is one of those things where like with the workout program in a lot of things in life, people have to have the mantra of get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like they have to have that.
Yeah. That is very crucial. That's one of the things that I face when drawing sometimes. I'm like, I'll draw for like 20 minutes and then look at the clock. I'm like, draw for another 20 minutes, look at the clock. And I'm like, this feels like it's not, this feels like it's not going anywhere. Like it feels like it's taking so long. But like when I go, but look at these pages that you made in a year. Like look at these 2 fully fledged comics that you made in a year. You've done that. You can keep going. And in 5 years, you'll have like 6 or 8, like you're building something. So, but like I can just get so uncomfortable, like just trying to focus. And it's like my brain is trying to like go look at this, go check this, go do that or something. um and honestly it kind of makes a tick with me with when people come up to the desk for, and like I actually have to do my work, my job, and get people situated with the gym, because like I'll start getting focused and then somebody comes up to the desk and I'm like, oh, my
Yeah.
focus that I was
Break you
working on
out.
trying to get is gone.
Yeah.
you know um but that's just part of work, doing, trying to juggle 2 things at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I get uncomfortable. I actually have, I think the most comfort is when I'm writing and when I'm trying to edit the writing. um but like inking, it's like inking's very fun and very special, and it's kind of like, but that's why it's so weird, because I'm like, this is the final page, like this is
Mm.
what I'm, these are the lines that need to stay, like, and like that, I don't know, that added pressure makes it uncomfortable. um and it makes me not want to like deal with it,
Yeah. That
um
that
even if it is
finality of
fun.
a page.
But yeah, it's and that was that's something that you have to carry through doing workouts. I do not like doing squats and front squats. um I don't like doing Bulgarian split squats most of the time. There's a lot of exercises that I've gotten more comfortable doing, but now I'm like, okay, what's the uncomfortable thing now I got to start doing?
Yeah.
Stretching after I'm done. I need to make sure I stretch, or, you know, so I keep having to add stuff on. But like front squats is super uncomfortable to do, but I've managed to like feel, I don't know, like when you get done with a workout, you're like, I did it, you know? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that mantra is very important. I 100% agree with that one.
Because it's just one of those things where like in all aspects of my life, like I very much have seen that. Like not only with like eating healthier, not only with exercising like a ton more compared to like basically after high school, because I did track and stuff in high school, a lot of exercise. After that though, not so much exercise, very little exercise. It wasn't until like after late into college or after college that started kicking that back up. My dog's applauding me for it. She's like, yeah, good job. Yeah, she's barking at.
Very happy
Uh,
for you.
yeah, but yeah, it was one of those things where like you just like you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Not only with eating healthier, not only with exercising, uh, uh, like there's a ton of aspects in my like for guys. This is another one because I'm going to try to go into a bunch of directions here with comfortable being uncomfortable. For guys, this is a tough one for guys sometimes, is with everyone, not only in like a boyfriend girlfriend relationship or husband wife relationship, but like any relationship, friends, strangers, family, whatever it may be. Like for guys, this is very tough. Being open in communication, as well as being open like emotionally, that's extremely tough for guys, especially us in the South. I'm saying all across the United States, definitely, but especially in the South. And it's one of those things where like that honestly does play into like someone's physical, mental, and spiritual health, is just like are you able to be open and be open emotionally? And what I mean by that is like simply like loving others, like caring for others, showing love to others. Because sometimes there will be moments where like, and you've probably faced this. You grew up in the South, like probably faced this where it's like maybe it's a friend that you have. It's a guy friend, and like simply like possibly just saying like, "Hey, I love you, man," like that sort of thing. Especially early on in life, it's like,
Whoa.
gotta can't say that. Gotta keep that in. It's like it's no one's like saying you're this or that. It's just simply like showing like, hey, love you. It's not like you're wanting to be his boyfriend or marry the person. It's not that kind of love. But I think people get so hung up or fixated on like what is love and like what is okay in showing love. And it's like if it's something good and it will be beneficial to you and almost definitely that person, if you're able to discern that in your head, if it pops in your head, almost say it or do it. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's one of those things where comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, if it is going to be harmful to you or them, you're able to discern that sort of thing. I'm not talking about the like love you man sort of thing. I just mean like in general, if there's those thoughts that pop in the head of like, oh, I should do this, or oh, I should help this person, or I should help that person, whatever it may be. If there is good in it and if there is like love behind it, go for it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think we get too hesitant a lot of times in our lives of like the thought pops in our head and it's like you're mulling on it, you're thinking on it, just keeps going, keeps going. It's like, nah, never mind. No, it's like if there was good intent behind it, like act upon it, because it's
Well,
very much one of those. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, there's this is been kind of a recent development in my friendships. A lot of my guy friends will say, they'll say, "Love you, brother, man, love you. See you next time. Love you. Be safe." It's like, throwing in that "love you" is like, it's I find it important, but I also have always been like, you don't have to tell me that. I know you do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you know it. Yeah.
but what's funny is if they say it first, something about saying "love you too" is like, that doesn't have the same ring as "love you, brother." It is like,
Yeah.
"love you too, brother." Like, it's like,
Love you too, brother.
it's like,
No, I
I
get
was
what
like, I'm like, I feel a little bit more awkward now having to respond. I need to have more initiative to be the first one to say it, I guess.
Yeah, you got to beat them to the punch, and it's like you
Yeah.
get the awkwardness now.
But yeah, that's usually never been huge here where
Yeah.
we live now, and more recently I've had, and it's always people that are more from out of town, and more alternative type people will say it. Robbie loves to say it. So,
Yeah.
but really, really great. Really great fun, and like I said, I'm like, I know you do. But I guess much like, your significant other, if you don't, you do have to, you do want to tell them that, like, even if
Because
they
it's one of
know.
those things of not only a reminder to them, whether it's significant other, friend, family, whatever it may be. It's not only a reminder to them, but it's very much like you want to say that. Like if it popped into your head, you're wanting to say that. You just want to be like, hey, like I just want you to know this sort of thing. Same thing with like acts of kindness to like friends, family, loved one, whatever it may be. Like sometimes there will be a thing where it's like this idea comes to your head of like a gift for someone, or doing this for someone, or doing that for someone. And that initial thing, if you're not used to it, that initial thing is like, ooh, that would be good. But then you sit on it and you sit on it, and then your brain starts going like, I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. It's
What
like,
will
no,
they
no, no.
think
Like,
about it? Will they
yeah,
think it's
like
weird?
if there's good intent behind it, like it's okay. Like that's ultimately the thing. And so, yeah, like that's been, it's been my mantra as of late. I mean, it's been there. It's definitely been there for like years, but like the past like month and a half, almost 2 months, it's very much that of like yeah, like don't be hesitant on saying something to someone, or doing something for someone, getting a gift, or that, this or that, whatever it may be, if there's good intent behind it. Because also part of it is like life is short. Like, and I don't mean like oh yeah, live to 70 or 80. Like yeah, that 50 years, like that time does fly by. Yes, it does fly by. What I mean by life is short is like don't know when like it's
Yeah.
for any of us.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I
the
mean
end of the
there's
world for someone every day.
yeah, and that's very much the case. And so it's one of those things of not seeing in a pessimistic sort of sense, not seeing it in a, oh gosh, like I might die today, or Austin might die today. It's not seeing it in that sense. It's more of a I'm blanking right now. What's the opposite of pessimistic? Optimistic.
Optimistic. Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to remember. It's more of an optimistic look on it. Optimistic look on life of like cherishing those moments, being in the present with those people. and saying things, or having these conversations, or doing this with someone, or whatever it may be, like, is simply you being in the present. Because, like, understanding that, hey, like, I'm just cherishing the day, I'm cherishing the moment, because, like, this could be my last moment, or this person's last moment,
Yeah,
or this or that, and looking at it more in an optimistic lens with that in mind, like, is
for sure.
tremendous benefit for me.
For sure. Um, well, I wanted to touch on this real quick.
Yeah,
The Halloween comics. You mentioned that there have been some stories come out of that, and I would like
yes.
to, if you have one that you'd like to share now, we can go ahead and get it. I'm curious as to what's been said.
I can be somewhat brief on this. So for people that don't know, as a Halloween comic we have, this gets folded. I just, all of the ones I folded and glued and stuff are in people's hands. I still have 400 something of these.
Hmm.
So it'll last like at least another year or two. But yeah, this is folded, everyone. I don't just hand people a sheet of paper and it's like, here you go. And then they're like, how the hell do I read this? Like, yeah. Um, but no, like it's been great with Halloween comics. Like, uh, I went to, and I told you this, I went to Pensacola Pop Comics, gave them 50 copies of it, as well as, I should mention this. I can't I can't have all the credit, sort of thing. One, this is a me and Austin collaborative effort with this, and Austin was the one that ordered it, like multiple uh, uh, proofs, went through multiple proofs of trying to like get it just right, because there were issues with that. And I'm thankful for Austin in doing that. And then Austin also ordered it. He got them, and then he sent me my copies. And then, so I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for my mom, because whenever I got the copies, I was like folding them and stuff, and like doing all the stuff. It's rewarding, but it is time consuming. Like Austin knows, like it, for one,
Hmm.
at least for me, because I like to make sure by the end it's like nice and tight regarding like the
Hmm.
spine and everything. Like it's not like big and open, sort of thing. Um, it takes like at least 5 minutes per one for
Yeah,
me.
just about.
Um, yeah, so it's one of those things where like it's time consuming. It's rewarding, but it's time consuming. And so my mom like has seen me, or she saw me like working on these and stuff. And she was like, she had mentioned one day, she was like, hey, if you ever need any help with it, like I if you just show me how to do it and stuff, I can help out. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I wasn't really paying any mind to us folding and stuff. And then a day or two later, it got brought up once or twice again of her mentioning that. I was like, yeah, you know what? Like for what I'm trying to do, for trying to get like nearly 100 of these done, I can't do that by myself. So like in this time span.
Hmm.
So if you wanted to help me, not making you, but if you wanted to help me, that would be great. And so like half of the comics that like I did, my mom was the one that like was folding and gluing and stuff. Because like if it was just me, in the time span that we had, we did over 90. We did almost 100. If it was just me, I wouldn't have even hit 50.
Yeah.
Um, so it was one of those things where I was like very thankful that my mom helped out in that, as well as like whenever, because I grew up as one of those people, and I'm a lot different now. Like over the past 2 or 3 years, I've changed this a lot. I'm one of those people that grew up where it's like no, I got it. I'll do all the stuff.
Hmm.
Like you don't have to help me. I got it. It's all on me. You go relax. You do this. You do that. I'll do it. I'm not going to reach out for help or anything like that. And it's like that's stupid. Um, And for anyone out there listening, if you do that, or if you are doing that, I'm saying this out of love because I very much was that way. Quit being stubborn, quit being stupid. It's okay to have help. It's okay to reach out for people, or if they reach out to you, it's okay to say yes, that would be great, instead of like, I got it. When deep down you're like, how the hell am I going to do 100 of these in like less than 2 weeks? Because I also have a job and all this stuff. So yeah, like it was very, very helpful. And I'm like, how I taught her, because that was also another thing that I think my mindset before, and people that are in that mindset, is like the willingness and patience to teach someone how to do that thing. Like if you can do that, it's essentially the classic phrase of like, teach a man to, what was it, like something about fish. Everyone knows the fish analogy. Some crap about fish, but it's true. Essentially teaching my mom how to make these comics was essentially like teaching a man to fish, sort of thing. Whatever the hell that analogy was. But, and part of that like was the video that you sent me. Like that helped a ton, because I learned from that, and that's what helped her in learning how to do that. And then she would pause here and there and ask questions, and then there was like one or two minor additional things that I would add to that, but ultimately like your video was a big key thing on that. So I mentioned that you were talking about like teaching and making comics and stuff. Your video very much did that for me, as well as my mom. So there's that. So we did that, made over 90 sort of thing. 50 of them went to Pensacola Pop Comics and dropped them off to the guy. And the guy's great. Like I love that shop because it's literally a comic shop. What I mean by that, everyone, is, and I'm not bashing shops that do this, because I understand comics, it's hard to literally have a shop just about comics. You have to compromise and do all this other stuff. You have to have the D&D stuff. You have to have Magic the Gathering stuff. You have to have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Warhammer 40,000, this, that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the statues. I'm okay with the Funko Pops, because I understand that like for a lot of those shops, comics are not even 50% of their income. I get that. I appreciate, though, when there is a shop that is literally just comics and is still around. It's very much in my brain. I'm like, how the hell is this working? Like, how this shop has been around for at least 10 years, because I went to it back in college. The shop has been around for at least 10 years and it's still going, and it's always just been comics. And so I'm extremely appreciative and fascinated by shops that are comics, as well as like this one very much has a focus on indie comics as well. Like the guy who owns it, it's just one guy. Like he enjoys comics, loves comics. A big thing that he reads mostly is like indie stuff. Like he'll pick up a Marvel, DC book here and there. He obviously has them on his shelf, like to sell, because like those do sell.
Yeah.
But like he's a comic fan, but he's more into like the random indie stuff. Like here are some examples. Let me see. Pull some of these out, because I picked these up whenever I was there about a month ago. Rambo 3.5, this little pink ash can looking thing. This is by Jim Rugg. Jim Rugg is one of the guys, a part of Cartoonist Kayfabe. Both him and Ed Piskor. Ed Piskor has since passed. This and like just like very indie sort of stuff. This one is about literally a comic shop, Grixley. I've never even heard of it. It's about a comic shop owner, or a guy who sells comics. And it's just like adventures in that sort of thing, like very weird little indie sort of stuff. And then a cool thing was I saw this. It's called Barber Psychic. And the reason this is significant to me, I still need to read it. I haven't read any of those. It's just been busy. I am going to read them though. This is significant because literally an artist that I have worked with / am working with did this, and I found it in the wild. Like Romero right there, Juan
Yeah.
Romero. Like he did most of the art for Tales from Town City #1.
Mhm.
He's also working on another series right now with me. But just finding this in the wild, I was like, that's cool. And I even like said to the comic shop owner when I was buying, I was like, I worked with that guy. I worked with the lead artist on this book.
Yeah.
And I'm working with them right now. So it was like, it was cool. Anyway, the Halloween comic stuff. 50 of them went to Pop Comics. 25 of them went to Pensacola TBS Comics. I didn't have time to make 25 to do the Fort Walton TBS Comics, but we made a certain amount. I gave Tio 2 or 3 of them, like one for himself as well as like a couple to just give out to people. Gave a couple to some friends, gave a few to some family members. And then when I was on a Tennessee trip 2 or 3 weeks ago, me and my brother, like I put these in my pocket. They were in a Ziploc bag. There were 11 of the Halloween comics. I put them in a Ziploc pocket. Those were the last that I had. Put them in a pocket. Me and my brother, it's vacation. We're just like chilling. There's an arcade near where we're staying. We're like, oh, let's go to the arcade. So we're playing games, all this stuff. And 2 or 3, like basically in my head, I was like, if I have any interactions with people, like more than just like a, hey, how you doing sort of thing. If it's like actual interactions with people, give them a Halloween comic. Because it was literally Halloween that day. It was October 31st. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. So 2 or 3 people I had interactions with, like at the arcade, and I would give them the comic. It was mostly like employees. Like one guy, we were doing the ticket stuff, like just getting like little snacks and all that stuff. And he was like, it was friendly conversation back and forth. He was like, hey, like, because we were about to leave. He was like, hey, like, have y'all tried this like Godzilla VR rail shooter game thing? I was like, oh no, we didn't. He was like, let me hook you up. He walked us over, swiped his card twice. It was like a $4 or $5 game each. I was like, go ahead, try it out. And like we played it. And like I'm glad we did, because literally once we went back, I was like, dude, of all the stuff that we played, because before that, he asked like, what was your favorite thing? And we said this or that. And that's what led him to get us to do the Godzilla thing. When we went back, I was like, dude, I'm so thankful for you, because that was literally the best thing here. Like that was awesome. It was like, I know, like I think it's awesome too. And we were just talking back and forth, give him the Halloween comic, like talk about it, give him the Halloween comic. He's like, oh, this is dope, man. Like this is really cool. So 2 or 3 interactions like that at the arcade. We go to Cheddar's. We walk across the street, go to Cheddar's. The waitress as well as the hostess, we have very much interactions like that with them as well. Give them a Halloween comic. We go to a show that night, a Hatfield and McCoy show, which if anyone's in the Pigeon Forge area, I know there's a bunch of bull crap to do in Pigeon Forge. Go to the Hatfield and McCoy show. Like that show was like, I like it. I like it a lot. I really like that show. There's other stuff we did in the week that's like, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But some of the bartenders, like I went to the bar at one point. I was getting a I don't really drink. I was getting like a virgin drink for me, and then like some drinks for my grandparents. But like I was like talking with the bartenders and stuff, and interactions. We were talking for like a couple minutes, few minutes, and they were talking about Halloween, of like, because it was Halloween on this night, and literally people are trick-or-treating at this time, and that's why it's not a packed house, is like everyone's out either at a Halloween party or trick-or-treating. and we were kind of talking about that. I was like, hey, you guys are here. You have to be here. At least here's like a little Halloween for you. And I gave them the comics, and they were like, oh, like this is great. I love it. So I just mentioned all that to say, uh, Halloween comic, as minor as it may seem for some people, very much welcomed by people that get it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had several people be like, "Hey, I kind of want. I liked what you made and put up there. Can I have some more to give to my kids? You know, that are not around or whatever." Um, the ones at the comic book shop, I got 0 stories off of. They all just he was like, I came back, I was like, "Hey, how'd the comic thing, the little comics go? Did you give them all out? Are they gone?" And he's like, "Yep, gave them all out." Cool, thanks.
that's the plus side is with like because I sent you the Instagram tag thing that Pop Comics did, Pensacola Pop Comics,
Mhm,
because I have no idea. TBS, I know it was good because I do free comic book day with them all the time, so I know it was good even if I don't hear stories. But simply like Pensacola Pop Comics making a post like later on in the week, and the first thing being the Halloween comic of like, hey, like you guys have probably seen in your bag that you got this little Halloween comic from Dismay Comics and American Demon
mhm.
Comics and stuff like that. That little stuff very much does show like this guy who very much is selling indie comics, very much cares for indie comics as well. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that shop. If anyone's in the
Mhm,
Pensacola area, both shops are good. TBS Comics in Pensacola, but also it's a smaller shop, but go to Pensacola Pop Comics as well. Not sponsored. I admire a shop that is literally a comic shop and is still afloat and hasn't
mhm.
shut down. That is wild to me.
All right, Brendan. Um, I'm getting a little hazy. The pressure here is changing, and
Yeah, yeah,
this morning has been kind of elevated up here, I think.
yeah.
But it was really fun working on this comic with you. I think we do plan on making some more
Oh
here
yeah.
for the future. That will also be a fun little archive to build up over time. But is there anything that you want to close out on as we wrap up on? Because over here, I've wrote some stuff down. So like next time we talk, um, I did go trick or treating, and I can say more about that. Um, and then I did have kind of a pop up comic booth at my local comic book shop because they changed locations, so they had a grand reopening.
Hmm.
Um, so I showed up for that day, and I can talk more about that as well on the next show.
Yeah, yeah.
But for this week, I'm clean. So, is there anything else you wanted to finish off with?
Um, Final thoughts. It deals with stuff we were talking about earlier, as well as I was talking about this a lot with some college kids recently because we went on a road trip to visit one of the college kids who's doing okay. He's doing better now. But a thing that we were talking about that I'll leave on this, and me and you were even talking about early on, is this sounds very simple, people, and it is, but you just simply have to do it. At least go on some walks, go outside, change up your diet some, at least a little bit. Eat you some fruits, eat you just change it up. If I know it's tough to cut cold turkey sometimes, at least slowly get rid of the junk food. Um, as well as don't be on your phone or laptop all the time. If you're on your phone, Make sure you're not doom scrolling the entire time, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Actually, if you're on your phone, be communicating with people, talking with people. But go seek people. Be with people, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's just going out, being with strangers. All of this sounds super simple. And it is, but you have to be in the mindset to do it. And it's going to be tough initially if you haven't done that, if you very much are reclused inside or have these hangups and stuff. But at the very least, go for walks outside. Whatever the second, healthy. Eat healthier. Doesn't mean you have to cut cold turkey on everything all at once, but have a progression there. And just be in relation with people. It's crucial. Like, do those things. There's other things for you to do, but regarding like first start sort of stuff, do those. It's extremely beneficial.
All right, Brandon, I really appreciate that. Just to finish off on that, it is simple. It is hard to apply. So drink more water, eat more fruit, walk outside a little bit. I can actually even go into that more next time because Robbie started doing that stuff, and
that's awesome.
Really, really enjoying it. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I have been Austin Light with American Demon Comics, and creator of Envy. You can find that at americandemoncomics.com. And I've been joined by my good pal Brandon with Dismay Comics. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook. He is for hire if you want some writing done for your comics. Maybe even just some editing or anything like that. Brandon is available, so
I
get in touch with him.
Help out in any way I can.
All right. Well, I will catch you on the next show. I think we'll go and we'll start our schedule with every other week, and every other week between that is a movie review.
Yeah.
Perfect one, I think, right now. I just watched The Godfather for the first time last night.
Ooh, I haven't seen it in a while. That'd be good.
Yeah, it was a very solid movie. So I would love to go over that next week.
Yeah. I'll be down. I'll definitely my sister's really big into film and she hasn't seen the Godfather movie, so I might just like push her a little bit, like Godfather's something this week. So yeah, that'll be good.
Awesome. All right, I'll catch you next time, Brandon.
Take care, everyone.